For those of you that have been collecting coins for a while, or maybe brand new, okay, it's always good to know exactly what the difference is between key date and rarity. Are they one and the same, or are they two completely different facets that we have to consider when we're collecting coins? A lot of the more easily accessible coins that you or I pull from, whether it's at coin shops, antique stores, online, a lot of it is common dated stuff. Okay, your common dated 1880s Morgan dollars, your common dated 1940s and 50s Lincoln cents. All right, these are all incredibly common coins, but there are a few linchpin coins. Okay, if you or I have gone through a Whitman Red Book price guide, okay, it's probably one of the elite reference materials in existence today. They can be found at bookstores, you know, online, Amazon, you name it. We've probably seen a few of these so-called linchpin coins, like the 1909s VDB Lincoln cent is one of those pinnacle coins that I would traditionally call a key date. A key date is simply the recognizable coin for the particular series. Now, the series, it's not all series, because there are some series that just have no hobby love, okay, and therefore they're not widely collected. Probably they wouldn't have a very recognizable, what I would call, key date. A prime example is the Shield nickels. So unloved, okay, they are stunning in their own right. They just don't have the audience out there, which has primarily kept prices down across the board for a lot of the coins, even the proof examples. Okay, so when we're determining key date, okay, there's a few key dates that come to mind. The 1909s VDB Lincoln cent, the 1877 Indian head cent is another one. Let's see, the 1916D Mercury dime is another fantastic example. The 1916 Standing Liberty quarter, albeit it's expensive key date, is another example. Any one of the 1921 coins, from the dimes to the quarters, well, the quarters not so much, there was no 1921, and Walking Liberty half dollars, okay, and then you have 1894 Morgan dollar. These are all key dates. Okay, the one element in each of these coins is they're highly regarded as the linchpin place marker of the series. They're highly distinguishable, they're widely collected, but the number one aspect about all of these coins is they have an attainable presence to them. Okay, enough of them were made to fulfill the demand of the market. Okay, which for the counterpoint, the rarities, all right, and you have a few examples that just popped up, and these are very recognizable, guys. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel is a supreme rarity in which 5 only exist, all of which, by the way, are in prominent collections, okay, across the globe. The other one is the 1804 Drape Bust dollar. This is a rarity. In some instances, some would see it as the key date, but it is so unattainable at any reasonable price level that traditional armchair collectors like myself, who maybe budget $500 a month on coin collecting, would never be able to afford coins like that. So if we look back across many of the series, okay, you have a lot of early gold coins with mintages less than 1,000, which would be considered rarities. Proof coins, early mid-1800s proof coins would fall under that too, because the mintages are so small and minuscule. Finding one in any sort of acceptable condition would be like pulling your hair out. It's that difficult. Key dates, again, The mintages are a little bit higher. Okay, they're at an affordable market adjusted level, so that way you or I can afford it. Like a 1909 SVDB in VF would be something that you or I can attain for under $1,000 really easily, and you would have one of those linchpin coins. Those ultra rarities, okay, for the most part it is mintage driven. Another thing to take into consideration with rarity is the type of coin and survival rate. For example, the 1903 S Barber Quarter, there are a number of them made, but the mere fact that it was highly circulated during its time. Now keep in mind, this is the early 20th century. It was the US was an economically depressed place at the time. Okay, we could think about the Great Depression, you know, the Roaring 20s. Okay, there just wasn't a lot of money, and the money that there was continuously circulated. The 1903 S Barber Quarter in high grades, anything above a VF, would be considered a rarity. Now again, the Barber series in any denomination isn't quite nearly as loved as the seeded series or the Mercury dimes or the Lincoln cents, okay? But it also does express a little bit of the rarity feel in the higher grades, because they were beater coins. They were made to be spent, and spent they did. Okay, so I hope that kind of clarifies. Okay, to recap, key dates are linchpin coins that help signify the series. Rarities may or may not have, okay, well they do, they'll have lower mintages, highly unattainable. You'll pay quite a bit of money for them compared to the key dates. And condition sensitivity. All right, the survival rates, how low are they on their most well-worn coins? So that differentiates the two. If you were to go deeper and wider in your collecting and you wanted to get into key dates or rarities, okay, it's always good to understand the differentiation of both. Now, you're going to ask me, is there such a thing of combining two together? There kind of is. Earlier in this broadcast, I had brought up the 1916 Standing Liberty Quarter, okay, at a paltry 52,000 pieces minted. That is kind of like borderline rare and a key date. So that's kind of like the best of both worlds put together. All right, so I hope that clarifies that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm just now getting back into it, back into the swing of things. We are getting into the holidays. Man, it is fast and it's quick approaching. Please feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so. We talk about everything coins, guys. You know, if you enjoy it and you want to know more, feel free to take a look at some of my other videos. They're always available. And when you subscribe, you'll have access to all the newest uploads. So I want to thank everyone again. You guys have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you next time. Keep hunting, keep collecting, because that's what it's all about. See ya.